Hey everyone, welcome back to Harshi Learn. This is my .NET series, Harshi Teaches .NET, where we are going to learn concepts step by step in a very simple and practical way. If you feel .NET is difficult or confusing, don't worry. We'll break it down and make it easy and clear together. And one more thing, even though AI is growing so fast, learning technologies like .NET is still very important because AI can help us to write code, but understanding concepts is what actually makes you a developer. Correct? So, in this series, we'll focus on building a strong foundation. So, let's not wait and let's get started with the basics. What is .NET? Don't worry, it's actually very simple. .NET is a platform created by Microsoft that help us to build applications. Now, when I say applications, I mean things like website, desktop apps, APIs, and more. So instead of building everything from scratch, .NET gives us lots of ready-made support like tools, libraries, and runtime, which makes our work much easier and faster. Another great thing is we are not just limited to one programming language here. .NET support multiple programming languages like C Sharp, F Sharp, and VB.NET. So we can choose what we are comfortable with. So if I say .NET in a very simple line, we can say it like .NET is a platform that helps developers to build applications easily without worrying about all the complex things that happening behind the scenes. Okay, so I hope you understood what is .NET. If you feel this new, don't worry, we'll understand everything step by step. Now, let's see something really interesting. What can we actually build using .NET? You might think it's just for website, but it's actually much more than that. With .NET, we can build web applications like websites and apps that we use every day. Behind these apps, there are web APIs that work in the background and connect everything together, and we can build those too. And if you have used any software in your computer, like Windows applications, those are desktops apps, and .NET is used there as well. And also, we can build mobile apps for Android and iOS using the same platform. It doesn't stop there actually. .NET is also used in the cloud, especially with Azure, where applications can run from anywhere. And sometimes there are some tasks that need to run automatically, like sending an emails or processing data. Those are called background jobs. And .NET handles them really well. So we can use .NET in background jobs as well. So when you look at all this, .NET is not just limited to one thing. You can build almost anything with it. So that makes the .NET so powerful. Now, let's talk about languages supported by .NET. One interesting thing about .NET is you're not restricted to just one programming language. It actually supports multiple languages. The most popular one is C Sharp. This is what most developers use today for building modern .NET applications. So it is easy to learn and very powerful, which makes it perfect for beginners as well. Then we have F Sharp, which is more focused on functional programming, and it is useful for things like data processing and complex calculations. And there is also VB.NET, which has been around for a long time and it is mainly used in older or existing applications. But if you're just starting out, don't worry about all these options. So in this series, we'll focus on C Sharp because this is what most real-world .NET development uses today. So once you learn C Sharp, you'll be able to build almost everything that we have discussed earlier. Now, let's understand something very important, how .NET actually works. Don't worry, I'll keep it simple. You can think of this like a small journey from writing code to running an application. We start by writing code in C Sharp. This is the code we as a developers write. Now, this code is not directly understood by the machine. So what happens is it gets converted into something called intermediate language. We can call it as IL code. You can think of this IL code as a middle step, a language that .NET understands. Okay. After that, something called a CLR, Common Language Runtime, comes into the picture. This is like an engine of the .NET. So it takes the IL code, processes it, and manages memory, handles executions, and finally makes sure everything runs properly. And once all this happens, our application runs. Okay. So if I simplify the whole flow, we write code and it's get converted. The CLR executes it and the application runs. Right now, you don't need to go very deep into this. Just remember this flow because this is just a foundation of how .NET works. So we'll understand each part in detail, step by step in the upcoming videos. Now, let's look at the main components of the .NET platform. Don't worry about the names. I'll explain them in a very simple way. Think of .NET is like a system where different parts work together to run your application. Firstly, we have something called CLR, Common Language Runtime. This is like a brain of .NET. It takes care of running your code, managing memory, and it will make sure everything runs safely. Okay. Then we have Framework Class Library, that is FCL. Okay. This is basically a collection of ready-made code. So instead of writing everything from scratch, we can reuse this and it saves a lot of time. Next comes the runtime, and this is the environment where your applications actually runs. So without this your code cannot execute. And finally we have SDK, software development toolkit. This is what we as a developers use to build application because it includes tools, compilers, and everything that we needed to create .NET application. So if I simplify it, this SDK help us to build app, and this CLR and runtime help us to run the application, and this class library help us to avoid writing everything from scratch. Okay, so right now you just get the basic idea of this components because we'll go deeper into each one step by step in the upcoming videos. Now, you might be wondering why .NET is so popular. There are very few simple reasons. First of all, performance. That applications built with .NET can run very fast. Okay, which is really important for real world application. And it is a very secure platform because .NET comes with a built-in security features, so it helps us to protect applications from the common threats. Another big advantage is that it's cross-platform, means you can build an application once and you can run it on Windows, Linux, and Mac OS. Okay, and .NET also has a large community. So whenever you get stuck, there are tons of developers, resources, and solutions available online. So you can reach out to them. And finally, it's enterprise ready, means big companies around the world use .NET for important systems, which shows how reliable and powerful it is. So if you look at all this, .NET is fast, secure, flexible, and widely trusted. And that's exactly why it is so popular. Now, let's see where .NET is actually used in the real world. You might be surprised because it is used in many places. For example, in large companies, .NET is used to build backend systems. So these are the core systems that handles business logic and data. And also it is widely used to create web APIs, so which connects mobile apps, websites, and different servers together. When it comes to the cloud, .NET works really well with the platform like Azure. So it is used to build cloud-based applications that can scale easily. And you might have also heard about Azure Functions. So these are the small pieces of code that runs in the cloud without managing servers. And .NET is commonly used there as well. And in many companies, .NET is used for automation, like running repetitive tasks, processing data, or sending scheduled emails. So if you look at all this, .NET is used everywhere, especially in real-world production applications. And that's why learning .NET is so valuable. So now you might be thinking, what's next? Don't worry, we are just getting started. In the next session, we are going to learn about CLR, the part of the .NET that actually runs your code behind the scenes. It's a very important concept, and once you understand it, things will start making much more sense. And also, make sure you follow this series step by step because each topic builds on the previous one. And most importantly, don't just watch. Try to build something small with what you learn. And that's how you really understand and grow. And that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this session helped you to understand the basics of .NET in a simple way. If you found this helpful, please support the channel by liking the video and share it with others who might find it useful. And if you want to learn .NET step by step, don't forget to subscribe and follow this series. Keep learning, keep building, and most importantly, enjoy the process. Happy coding and have a great day.